So a common question I get from people that really do exist, and I'm not just making this shit up to sell you snake oil or some shit, is what's the best way to go bald? And before we even get into this top 10, I want to preface this by saying, if you want to go bald, don't half-ass it. You need to take it all the way. So without further ado, coming in at number 10, Barbour. This method barely makes it into the list because frankly, there's absolutely no permanence. And as close as a close shave tends to be, the roots of the hairs are still clearly visible on the scalp. Call this the poor man's solution to obtaining maximal baldness if you want, but personally, I spit in the face of this method. Coming in at number 9, chemotherapy. Now, this is an excellent method of making sure that the hair follicles dwindle and die, giving the appearance of heavily reduced thickness on the old noggin. It would, of course, be higher on the list if it weren't for the comparatively long period needed to reach the desired results. And then there's the fact that it may not make all of your hair actually fall out. Oh, and then of course there's the much less important health risks associated with using chemicals without valid medical reasons. Coming in at number 8, ants. Got a jar of honey burning a hole in that kitchen cupboard of yours? No toast in sight or dog's asses to lick it off of? Put that honey to use by shellacking that melon of yours and letting God's creatures nibble away. You'll attain the baldness of your dreams in no time. Speaking of ants, have you already reached your maximum baldness and have no more need for those annoying little pests? Well, you're in luck, because our friends at Swineco have created the Bug Plug, a perfect solution for just such a problem. Simply place the tiny plug in the anthill, and voila! You'll have 5 minutes of peace until the ants just dig around it. Swineco. Live, laugh, vegetate. Coming in at number 7, stress. We've all heard the old feeling an excessive amount of stress can cause hair loss. And sure, this may fall into the same category of credibility as parents telling their children that if you pick your nose too much, your head'll cave in. But what we can at least agree on here is that it would be pretty cool if you could lose your hair simply by the power of feelings. And on top of that, if you don't count the deep depression that will no doubt follow, this method is pretty much cost-free. Coming in at number 6, extreme speed. If you got a roller coaster or maybe just a plain old centrifuge just kicking around somewhere, exposing yourself to that delicious velocity for greater than recommended periods of time can sometimes result in impressive levels of hair loss. This, of course, is still just theory, as everyone that has attempted this thus far has died horribly. But on the bright side, coming in at number 5, become an egg. Now, follow me on this. So you take an ostrich egg, drill a small hole in the bottom, and drain out all of the incubating contents. Next, you want to take plain old dish soap and lather your head from chin to cowlick. Force your giant human head through that small hole in the bottom of the egg, and, with enough luck, you'll find yourself encased within the egg. Though eating is not impossible at this point, it isn't recommended. Coming in at number 4, hair jealousy. Scientific studies that I have totally not just made up to service this bullshit tells us that those thoughtful hairs sitting on our crowns are not without their flaws. For example, the introduction of a more luxurious creature can often prompt a hair to desert its host. Though you may not agree with your hair's lack of monogamy, remember, it can be used as a fantastic tool for maximizing your baldness. Preferred pastures may come in the form of a bearskin rug, prostitute's horse-haired wig, and in less common cases, astroturf. Coming in at number 3, rug burn. We've all John Travolted across slick surfaces from time to time, whether that be ice rinks or oiled up cooking pans. As a result of such magnificence, our legs are left bare and sparkling as a newborn babe's bottom. You may need to learn to breakdance in order to properly apply this revolutionary method to the old chrome dome, but if the results are anything like I'm imagining, you're in for a shiny level of baldness that's almost not even physically possible. And speaking of rug burn, while dirty dancing, I'm sure that we've all face planted in a rug from time to time. Although both weirdly pleasurable and confusing, this can leave the rug sufficiently bruised by the experience that it may require maintenance. Not to fret, Swineco with their patented rug plug is here to help you fill that gap. Simply apply the plug to the abraded area and then keep on dancing. Thanks, Swineco. Coming in at number 2, magnetism. Oh, this one's really simple. Eat a crap ton of iron-rich foods, or just eat a bunch of nails. No. Or better yet, just inject molten iron directly into your bloodstream. In your body's pursuit to keep you healthy, it will attempt to shed the excess iron, often through the hair follicles on your head. Now it's a simple matter of finding a high-powered electromagnet and holding on tight to something sturdy. Do note, however, that if you have a peanut allergy, this method may be dangerous. Coming in at number 1, become a monk. Have you ever seen a monk actually shave their heads? So smooth, So perfectly contoured. So bald. Yeah, exactly, me neither. What they don't want us to know is that the secret to complete and utter boss-level baldness has been a family recipe of the monks for generations. And for you monks out there, checkmate, bitches. Now, the general public has equal access to this godly level of baldness too. I mean, it's so simple, I'm surprised that we didn't discover this earlier. Just become spiritual or some shit, and bam, bald as fuck. Well, that wraps up this list of the top 10 ways to go bald as fuck. Join us next week as we look at the top 10 ways to watch paint dry.